Konstantin Gavrilich! Konstantin Gavrilich! There's no one here. The old man is asking for him every minute. Where's Kostya? Where's Kostya? He can't stand being without him. He's afraid of loneliness. What miserable weather. It's the second day already. There are waves on the lake. They're huge. It's dark in the garden. We ought to tell them to knock down the theater in the garden. It stands there bare and hideous, like a skeleton with the curtain flapping in the wind. Last night, when I walked by, I thought I heard someone crying there. Please, let's go home, Masha. I'm spending the night here. Masha, come. Our baby is surely hungry. That's nonsense. Matriona will feed him. I feel so sorry. It's a third night without his mother. You've become so boring. Before you used to philosophize now and then, but now it's all baby this, come home, baby that, come home. That's all I ever hear from you. Masha, let's go. Go by yourself. Your father won't give me a horse. He will. Ask him, and he will. Maybe I'll ask him. You'll come home tomorrow then. Fine, tomorrow. Stop bothering me. What's this for, Mama? Fyodor Nikolaevich has asked to make his bed in Kostya's room. I'll do it. Old folks are like children. So I'll go then. Goodbye, Masha. Goodbye, Mamasha. Well, God bless. Goodbye, Konstantin Gavrilovich. Kostya, no one saw it coming that one day you'd become a real writer. And now, thank God, you're getting money from magazines. And you're handsome now. Kostya, dear, be a little sweeter with my Mashenka. Leave him alone, Mama. She's nice. Kostya, a woman doesn't need much. Just glance at her sweetly. I know from experience. There, now you upset him. You had to bother him. I feel sorry for you, Mashenka. I don't need it. My heart's aching for you. I see everything and understand everything. It's nothing. Hopeless love. It's only in novels. That's all nonsense. Just don't let yourself go and don't keep waiting for something, waiting by the sea for the wind to change. As soon as love creeps into your heart, get rid of it. They promised to transfer my husband to another district, and as soon as we move there, I'll forget it all. Pull it out of my heart straight by the roots. Kostya's playing. He must be feeling sad. The main thing, Mama, is not to see him. As soon as they give my husband a transfer, trust me, I will forget it all in a month or two. It's all nonsense. I now have 6 months to feed in my house, and the flour is 7 arenas a bushel. Try to make ends meet. It's easy for you to laugh. You've more money than you know what to do with. Money, my friend, and 30 years of medical practice, busy practice. When I never belonged to myself, not during the day, not at night, I managed to save only 2,000, all of which I recently spent abroad. I have nothing left. You're still here? Well, what can I do? He won't give me a horse. I don't want to see you. All these changes, however, you turned a drawing room into a study. It's better for Konstantin Gavrilovich to work here. He can, whenever he wants to, walk out into the garden to think there. Where's my sister? She went to the station to meet Trigorin. She'll be right back. If you thought it necessary to send for my sister, then I must be gravely ill. A pretty kettle of fish. I'm gravely ill, and no one's giving me any medicine. What do you want? Sedative drops, sodium bicarbonate, quinine? Oh, here you go with philosophy. I don't deserve this. Is the bed made for me? For you, Fyodor Nikolaevich. Much obliged. The moon is sailing in the evening sky. I want to give Constantine an idea for a story. The title should be A Man Who Wanted to. L'homme qui a voulu. When I was young, I wanted to become a fiction writer. I didn't. I wanted to speak eloquently, and I spoke dreadfully. And all that, and such, not quite. And I remember struggling to write a memo, even breaking out in a sweat. I wanted to get married, and I didn't. I always wanted to live in a town, and here I am, spending my last days in the country and all that. You wanted to become state councilor, and you did. Oh, I didn't aspire to it. It happened by itself. Admit it. Expressing dissatisfaction with the life at 62 is ungenerous. How stubborn you are. Don't you see? I feel like living. That's foolish. It's the law of nature that every kind of life must come to an end. You sound like a man who's had his fill. You've had your fill and are therefore indifferent to life. You don't care. But you too will be afraid to die. Fear of death. It's a blind fear. You have to suppress it. Only those who believe in eternal life consciously fear death and shudder at the thought of their sins. And you, first of all, you are an unbeliever. And secondly, what sins? You served 25 years in the court system. That's all. 28. We're keeping Konstantin Gavrilovich from working. No, it's all right. Doctor, allow me to ask you, which city did you like the most abroad? Genoa. Why Genoa? There's a superb street crowd there in the evening when you leave the hotel. The entire street is jammed with people. You move about with the crowd this way and that way without a goal along a broken line. You live with it. You blend into it psychically. And you begin to believe that, yes, a single world soul, like the one that Nina Zarachnaya portrayed in your play, is possible. By the way, where's Zarachnaya now? Where and how is she? She must be fine. I heard that she's had a rather peculiar life. What's the matter? It's a long story, Doctor. Make it short. She ran away from home and had an affair with Trigorin. Did you know that? Yes, I did. She had a child. The child died. Trigorin fell out of love with her and went back to his former attachments, as you would expect. Or rather, he never gave them up, and thanks to his spinelessness, he managed both here and there. From what I understand, based on what I know, Nina's personal life didn't turn out well at all. And what about the stage? Even worse, I think. She made her debut at a summer theater outside of Moscow. Then she left for the provinces. I tried not to lose sight of her, and for some time, whenever she went, I have followed. She took big roles mostly, but her acting was crude and tasteless, with wailing and jerky gestures. There were moments when she showed talent. She would shriek well, die well, but those were only moments. So does she have talent? It was hard to tell. She must. I saw her, but she didn't want to see me, and the servants wouldn't let me in her hotel room. I knew how she felt, and so didn't insist on meeting with her. What else can I tell you? Later, after I came home, I received letters from her, intelligent, warm, and always interesting letters. She never complained, but I sensed that she was profoundly unhappy. Every line betrayed an aching and strained nerve. Her imagination was a little disturbed, too. She signed her letters a seagull in the water nymph. A miller says that he's a raven, and just like him, she was always saying in her letters that she was a seagull. She's here now. What do you mean here? In town, at the inn. She's been staying here, in one of the rooms, 5 days already. I almost went, and Maria Ilichna went to see her as well, but she refuses to see anyone. Semyon Semenovich is convinced that he saw her yesterday after dinner in a field a mile or so from here. Yes, I saw her. She was walking in the direction of the town. I bowed to her and asked her how come she hadn't come by to see us. She said she wouldn't come by. She won't. Her father and stepmother don't want anything to do with her. They have placed watchmen all around, not to let her even close to the house. Oh, it's so easy, Doctor, to be a philosopher on paper, and so hard in real life. She was a lovely girl. What was that? I said she was a lovely girl. State Councilor Soren for some time was even in love with her. The old Lovelace. I think they're back from the station. Yes, I hear Mamma's voice. We all fade and grow old under the elements, while you, my dearest madam, are still young. Pastel blouse, lively, graceful. You want to put an evil eye on me again, you boring man? Hello, Pyotr Nikolaevich. Still ailing? That's not good. How are you, Maria Ilyinichna? You recognize me. Are you married? A long time. Happy? Irina Nikolaevna tells me that bygones are bygones, and you are no longer furious with me. Look, Boris Alexeyevich brought a magazine with your new story. Thank you very much. You are very kind. Your admirers send you their respects. In St. Petersburg and Moscow, they are generally interested in you. They always ask me about for you. They ask, what's he like? How old? Dark or hair, fair haired? They think for some reason that you are much older, and nobody knows your real name since you publish under a pseudonym. You're as mysterious as the man in the iron mask. Staying long with us? No, I'm planning to go back to Moscow tomorrow. I have to. I'm trying to finish a novella, and I also promised to produce something for the anthology. It's short. In short, it's the same old story. The weather has given me a rough welcome. The wind is brutal. Tomorrow morning, if it dies down, I'll go fishing by the lake. By the way, I need to look around the garden and that spot. Do you remember where your play was? I've hatched a plot, and now I just need to refresh my memory on the place of action. Papa, let my husband take a horse. He's got to go home. A horse? Go home? You saw it yourself. The horses have just got back from the station. You can't expect me to send them out again. But there are other horses. No point in talking to you. Masha, I'll walk, really. To walk in this weather. Come, ladies and gentlemen. It's only 4 miles. Goodbye. Goodbye, Mamasha. I wouldn't have troubled anyone but the baby. Goodbye. He'll get there without. Who does he think he is? Come, ladies and gentlemen, let's not lose any time because supper will be served soon. When long evenings come in the fall, they play bingo here. Here, take a look. An antique bingo set that our mother used to play with us when we were still children. Won't you play a game with us before supper? The game is boring, but if you get used to it, then it's not so bad. He's read his own story, but didn't even cut open the pages of mine. And you, Kostya, I'm sorry, I just don't feel it. I'll go take a walk. The ante, 10 kopecks. Doctor, put in for me. Yes, ma'am. Everybody's in? I'm starting. 22. Here. 3. So it is. Have you put down 3? 8, 81, 10. Don't rush. What a reception they gave me in Kharkov. My goodness, my head is still spinning. 34. The students gave me a standing ovation. 3 baskets, 2 wreaths, and here. That's really something. 50, 50 even. I wore an amazing outfit. I am no slouch when it comes to dressing. Ghost is playing again. He's sad, poor boy. He's been criticized in the papers a lot. 77. No need to pay attention. He's out of luck. He can't seem to zero in on his true voice yet. It's all strange, vague, sometimes verging on delirium. Not a single live character. 11. Petrusha, are you bored? He's asleep. The state counselor is asleep. 7. 90. If I had an estate like this by the lake, would I bother with writing? I would have gotten over that desire, and all I do all day is fish. 28. To catch a ruff or a perch, that is bliss. I believe in Konstantin Gavrilich. There's something there. There's something there. He thinks in images. His stories are vivid and striking, and they affect me deeply. It's a pity that he doesn't have a well-defined goal. He only makes an impression and nothing else. But you can't get very far on impression alone. Irina Nikolaevna, are you glad that your son's a writer? Would you believe I haven't read him yet? I haven't had the time. 26. Boris Alexeyevich, we have one of your things here. What is it? A while ago, Konstantin Gavrilich shot a seagull, and you asked me to have it stuffed. I don't remember it. I don't remember. 66. 1. How dark it is. I don't understand why I'm feeling so restless. Kostya, close the window. It's drafty. 88. I finished. Ladies and gentlemen. Bravo, bravo, bravo. This man is always lucky no matter where he goes and what he does. And now let's eat something. Our celebrity didn't have lunch today. After supper, we'll continue playing. Come, Kostya, leave your manuscript. Let's go eat. I don't want to, Mama. I am full. As you wish. Let's have supper, Petrusha. I'll tell you about the reception they gave me in Krakow. I talked so much about new forms. And now I feel myself like that little by little I'm sliding towards a routine. The poster on the fence announced, a pale face framed by dark hair. Announced, framed, it's worthless. I'll start with my hero waking up to the sound of the rain and the rest must go. A description of a moonlit night is long and refined. Trigorin has worked out these techniques, and it's easy for him. He has the neck of a broken bottle gleaming on the dam and the looming black shadows of the mill wheel. And there's your moonlit light night, whereas I have a quivering light, quiet twinkling of stars, and the distant sound of a piano fading into still and fragrant air. This is torture. Yes, I'm becoming more and more convinced that it's not the old or the new forms that are important, but that a person writes without thinking about forms at all. Writes because it pours freely from his heart. What's that? I can't see anything. Someone ran down the steps. Who's there? Nina. 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 Nina, it's you. You. Ah. It's as if I knew and in my soul agonized all day. Oh, my good girl, my precious. She. We won't cry. We won't. There's someone here. No one. Lock the doors so no one comes in. No one will come in. I know Irina Nikolaevna is here. Lock the doors. There's no lock here. I'll block it with an armchair. Don't be afraid. No one will come in. Let me look at you. It's nice and warm here. This used to be the drawing room then. Have I changed much? Yes. You've become thinner and your eyes are bigger now. Nina, it's so strange for me to see you. Why wouldn't you let me see you? Why hadn't you come sooner? I know you've been staying here almost a week. I went to your place several times a day and stood under your windows like a beggar. I was afraid that you hated me. I dream every night that you're looking at me and don't recognize me. If you only knew, ever since I arrived here, I've been wandering around by the lake. I walked by your house many times, but I didn't have the courage to come in. Let's sit down. We'll sit down and we'll talk. Talk. It's nice here, warm and homey. Do you hear the wind? There's a passage in Turgenev. It's good for someone on a night like this to have a roof over his head and a warm corner to sit in. I'm a seagull. No, that's not it. What was I saying? Yes, Turgenev, he says. And may God help all the homeless wanderers. It's all right. Nina, you are again Nina. It's all right, and I feel better. I haven't cried for 2 years. Late last night, I went to look in the garden, and if our theater was still there, and it's still there, I cried here for the first time in 2 years, and I felt a sense of relief, and it felt lighter in my soul. See, I'm not crying anymore. So you've already become a writer. You're a writer, and I'm an actress. Together we've fallen into this spinning circle. I lived a happy life like a child. Wake up in the morning and start singing I loved you. I dreamed about fame, and now, tomorrow I take an early train to Yelitz in the third class with the mujiks. And yet in Yelitz, cultured merchants will bother me with their compliments. Life is vulgar. What is Yelitz? I have a contract there for the writer. It's time to go. Nina, I cursed you. I hated you, tore up your letters and photographs, and yet every minute I knew that my soul's forever attached to yours. Nina, I can't stop loving you. Ever since I lost you, and since I started getting published, my life has been unbearable. I suffer. It's as if my youth was suddenly torn away from me, and it feels like I've already been here for 90 years. I call out to you, kiss the ground you walked on. Wherever I look, I see your face, this tender smile that brightened the best years of my life. Why is he saying that? Why is he saying that? I'm alone, not warmed by anyone's affection. I'm cold as in a cave. Whatever I write comes out dry, callous, and dark. Stay here, Nina, I implore you, or else allow me to go with you. Nina, why? For God's sake. Nina! My horses are at the gate. Don't see me off. I'll go myself. Give me some water. Where are you going now? To town? Is Irina Nikolaevna here? Yes. My uncle fell ill on Thursday, and we sent a telegram for her to come. Why do you say that you kissed the ground I walked on? Someone should kill me. I'm tired out. If only I could rest. Rest. I'm a seagull. That's not it. I'm an actress. Well then, and he's here too. Well then, it's all right. Yes. He didn't believe in theater, made fun of my dreams, and little by little I stopped believing in it too and lost heart. Then all these worries of love, jealousy, and a constant fear for the baby. I became petty, worthless. My acting was meaningless. I didn't know what to do with my hands. I didn't know how to stand up on stage. Couldn't control my voice. You don't understand what that condition is when you know that your acting is awful. I'm a seagull. No, that's not it. Do you remember you shot a seagull? A man happened to come by, saw, and for the lack of anything better to do, destroyed an idea for a short story. That's not it. What was I saying? Oh yes, I'm talking about the stage. I'm not like that. I'm a real actress now, and I act with joy and excitement. I get intoxicated on stage, and I feel beautiful. But now, while I'm here, I walk everywhere. I walk and I think. I think and I feel that with every passing day, my mental strength grows. Now I know, I understand, Kostya, that for our work, it doesn't matter whether it's acting or writing. The important thing is not fame or glory, not what I dreamed about, but the ability to endure. Know how to bear your cross and have faith. I have faith and it doesn't hurt as much. And when I think about my calling, I'm not afraid of life. You have your path and you know where you're going, but I'm still rushing about in the chaos of dreams and images, not knowing who needs it and what for. I don't believe in it and I don't know what my calling is. Shh, I'm going. Goodbye. When I become a famous actress, come and have a look at me. You promise? But now, it's late. I can barely stand up on my feet. I'm completely exhausted, and I'd like something to eat. Stay, I'll bring you supper. No, no, don't see me off. I'll get there myself. The horses are nearby. So she brought him with her. Well, it doesn't matter. When you see Trigorin, don't tell him anything. I love him. I love him even more than before. An idea for a short story. I love him passionately. I love him desperately. It was so nice before Kostya. Do you remember? What a bright, warm, joyous, innocent life, and the feelings, resembling tender and elegant flowers. Do you remember? People, lions, eagles, and quails, horned stags, geese, spiders, silent fish that used to inhabit the water. Starfish and creatures were invisible to the eye. In short, all lives, all lives, all lives, having completed their mournful cycle, have died out. It has been thousands of centuries since the earth has supported a single live creature, and this poor moon in vain lights its lantern. The cranes in the meadows no longer awaken with a call, and the beetles are not heard any more in the linden groves. It's bad if someone sees her in the garden and then tells Mamma about it. It may upset Mamma. That's strange. The door seems locked. An obstacle course. The red wine and the beer for Boris Alexeyevich goes right here on the table. We will play and drink. Let's take our seats, ladies and gentlemen. Bring us tea at the same time, too. Here's the thing I was just telling you about. Made to order. I don't remember. I don't remember. What was that? It's nothing. Something must have exploded in my portable medicine case. Don't worry. Just as I thought, a car of ether exploded. Spellbound once more, I stand before you. Phew. I got frightened. It reminded me when everything went dark for a second, even. About 2 months ago, they published an article here, a letter from America. And I wanted to ask you, by the way, since I'm very interested in this subject, take Irina Nikolaevna away from here. The thing is, Konstantin Gavrilovich has shot himself.